Well, as we run out of time for No Name, uh, now is the perfect time to do drastic tuning measures on the car. Because the last thing we would want is something that we know that works a week before No Name, and just to change it, right? Okay, so today we are addressing the timing. The timing is a big issue with this car because the stock Ford Distributor has so much mechanical advance built into it. It's just you're either way too much timing up top or way too low timing at the bottom, and trying to get it in between, it's just a disaster, right? So rather than try to come up with an actual plan, like formulate an actual way to limit the mechanical advance to our advantage so we can have more initial and yada yada yada, we're just going to lock it out because that's the easiest way I can think of to just eliminate the whole timing fiasco whatsoever for No Name. We'll just run lock timing at No Name and it'll be fine. It's a drag race, it's not like we need good gas mileage or anything during this event. So that's what we're doing. Let me show you. I got this whole thing blown apart, so let me show you what I got going. I have already dismantled the distributor and taken out all the important bits, right? And this is how we're locking out the timing professionally. Let me show you. So, oh, you can't see that. Now you can. As you can clearly see, we wired this bad boy shut. There used to be, where's my pointer? I had a pointer, there it is. See, there used to be springs that would connect here to here, right? And as these weights come out, it would push this, pushing on the spring, allowing it to advance, right? Advance. Well, we eliminated the spring and we just wired them shut. So it's not moving. I still have to tighten all this up because I still got just a little, just barely anything, right? So I'm just going to tighten this up real quick, put it all back together, and that is our setup. We will reverse this after No Name, but for No Name, this is what we're going to do. This was the easiest, simplest method I can think of in order to actually lock out this distributor and be able to reverse it. Now, a quick note. We are limiting it all the way to the retarded side. See, that's the fully advanced side. This is the fully retarded side. That is not ideal because the rotor theoretically should be phased perfectly in line with the cap in the fully advanced position. So higher RPM over here is where the rotor should be clocked in order to actually phase properly with the distributor cap. Unfortunately, I didn't see an easy method of obtaining that. I've tried to wire to this thing from that thing or this thing, and it just didn't work. So from there to there was the easiest connection on both sides. That's just what we're doing. It's not ideal, but it's good enough. So let me throw this thing back together. Alright, well, now that it's all back together, let's fire it up, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the how to make it not kick back and against the starter, right? Usually locked out distributors, if you have that much advance, initial advance, it will tend to try to rip the nose off the starter. I'm going to show you how I'm going to alleviate that in my situation. Alright, so let me go start that quick. Okay, never mind. It's, yeah, but, well, I can't start it because the battery's dead. And the battery's dead because the battery has a draw on it. And the battery has a draw on it because the voltage regulator is shot. And it's drawing current, draining my battery. Maybe the old zip tie rivet wasn't the best idea on the old circuit voltage regulator. I could have swore that it was grounded to, that it had a wire coming off it grounded over here. I didn't realize it itself probably needed both groundings. Well, alright, well I guess I gotta get me a new one of them before we can actually start the dang gum thing. And I'm gonna have to relocate it, which will be easier now that I'm, you know, got all the tools. Before we were at New Guy's Guitars place, Tom, he don't have a whole lot of tools over there, so no self-tappers or anything like that. So we'll be able to actually mount that in properly into a location now. So, shoot. Well, I guess I'll just tell you what I was about to do. Now, the way that we're going to alleviate the you know, hot starting, cold starting, the starting with that much advance, is we're going to set the distributor to something reasonable, right? You know, really it will depend on what that vacuum pod does, because we are going to set it with full vacuum to our desired timing. Okay, so when it's at full vacuum advance, that's locked out. Together, it will be at the timing we want to be. Then, when we are starting it, we can pull the vacuum out of the vacuum advance, and it will lower the timing so that we can start it, and then we'll just add the vacuum back in using this thing. So, full timing, full locked out timing, be able to start it without kicking back to the nose of the starter. So that's the plan. We're just gonna, I'll get a longer vacuum line and put it inside the cab and just have it down by the old feet and just, all right, we're ready to roll. It's pretty ingenious. You got to admit, it's pretty ingenious, right? You know, if you're not going to use the vacuum advance anyway, you can at least use it to do that, you know, to make running locked out timing easier. Notice how I was all ready to do all kinds of stuff, and then I had to diagnose this stupid thing. Where'd it go? Right there. Great. That's always a bummer when that happens, right? So I guess that's it for now, because that's all I can literally do right now. I gotta go get one of those, and it's too late for me to actually go and install it into a new location and do all this and that, whatever else, right? But I don't foresee this plan failing, right? I mean, it's wired shut. It ain't going anywhere. It's one continuous piece of wire too, and it's not insignificant gauge. I mean, it's stainless steel, some good stuff right there. So I don't foresee that going anywhere. It might, but I doubt it, but there's always the off chance. But I'm going to call the timing probably good. Like I said, we'll start up, we'll give it full vacuum, we'll set the timing to where we want it, and whenever we let off the vacuum, it'll just be whatever it is, just to start it up. And then once it's started, we'll give it the vacuum, and it will be locked out timing, which Junkyard Necromancer yet to start all his testing because of gauge conundrums, right? His gauge cluster there didn't really read accurately, right? But he's trying to go out and trying to disprove that running that much initial timing is going to actually give you better performance in the first place. So I guess we might be able to test that theory out first. You know, if you don't get on the ball there, junkyard. See what I'm saying? I know for a fact this thing is going to be an animal once you give it 32, 34 degrees right off the hit. Just you wait and see. And, well, you will see. Probably in a next video or two. So I'll catch you then. Catch you next time.